everyone, welcome to Middle Eastern American Television. I'm your host, Sarah Massoud, and today we're interviewing President from the Chaldean American Ladies of Charity, Leanne Kerma. Welcome, Leanne.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Now, today we're going to get into the organization of the Chaldean American Ladies of Charity, and but before we go into that, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Leanne Kerma, and I am the current president of the Chaldean American Ladies of Charity, also known as CALC or the CALC.
Now, elaborate a little bit on the Chaldean American Ladies of Charity for those who haven't heard of it, for those who don't know the organization, what it does.
The organization was established in 1961. We're a nonprofit 501c3, and our sole mission is it was started by a group of women back in 1961 that wanted to help new immigrants that came to the United States and help them adjust to American society and American life. From that, the organization has grown to include more than 600 women and several hundreds of supporters throughout the community, within and outside of the Chaldean community. Our sole purpose is to bring assistance and aid for the ones who cannot help themselves at this time. Either they've fallen on hard times, or they're new immigrants, or something unexpected has happened in their life that has impaired them where they cannot provide for their family. So we do a lot of mentoring programs. We've got senior programs, young youth programs. We've got programs that will assist in clothing, bedding, food pantry that we have now established as of 3 weeks ago. So we're here to assist people who are in need.
Great. Now, obviously the organization, the name of the organization has the focus of ladies. And what is the focus of having an organization based on women giving? Is there a meaning of a value to that?
I think a woman helps keep the family together. And if you've got a strong woman in the home that can help and provide and help take care of her family, they tend to keep the family together.
Right.
Even though this is a woman-run organization, we help not just women, but men and children as well. We've got a lot of male volunteers from all ages. So a woman plays an important role in the family, and we're always the caregivers, the ones who take care of everybody. So that's, really how this has come about, where we were always wanted to be the nurturers, the taking care of people.
Now, you've mentioned a little bit about certain programs that you guys offer. Is there a specifications for each help that you offer?
At CALC, we always do assessments. So if you're asking for a monetary, dollar-wise, that you need assistance on your utilities or so forth, we do investigate. We do check into more of your history and why you can't and so forth. But before we even give you that money, we need to understand that you will be on a plan, or how you're going to bounce back and to help continue where you can financially afford certain things, your electrical and so forth. So it's not just very easily somebody comes, gives us a call, hey, I need X amount of dollars, that we freely give it, because we're very limited in that resource, and we cannot. And there are several hundreds of people that are in need. So we do thorough assessments. We try to do a very thorough assessment and help the ones at most in high risk that are in desperate need. Clothing-wise, same thing, and bedding and food. We never turn anybody away for food. If you come to us and you tell us you're hungry for food, you're going to get food from us. Clothing, very similar. Bedding, again, we come in and we do home assessments. We do a lot of home assessments when people are asking for something, to ensure that people really need it. Because if we give it to one who really doesn't need it, it hurts the next person who's in desperate need. And our resources, we rely on our community to help us and to help fund these programs and to help donate. And we can't do any of this without the generosity of our community. Not any of the organizations in our community.
Right, I'm sure. And what I did get from the organization, that you don't only just see what they need and just give it to them, but you allow them to receive the assistance and the help that they need, and yet once it's per se not over, but they can stand on their feet and maintain the
Yes.
assistance that they got for you. So
Yes.
you guys go through a process where
Yes.
you overlook and see
Yes.
their change and their
Yes.
maintenance. That
Yes.
way, when it's per se done,
Yes.
they're not like falling off the bridge. They're
Yes,
still
there
maintaining.
there has to be a
Okay.
plan. If you come to us and you say you're behind 3 months in your mortgage payment, well, why are you behind in 3 months? What created the delay in payment? How are you going to make the next payment? How are we going to, what kind of help do you need from us to help you to get to that point? Is it helping you find a job? Is it maybe you just fell on your luck for 2 months and you just need this money to help you catch up? A lot of it is just, unexpected things happen in people's lives, and it's just to help these people get back up and on their feet.
Now, you've touched a little bit base on this, but elaborate on the importance of refugee aid, because a lot of people maybe overthink it or just surpass it, but there is a big base factor that people don't understand.
Right. People have to understand many of these refugees have been tortured in some way or another. They were persecuted for their religious beliefs. They left unwillingly. Most of these people probably would have not left Iraq if it wasn't for the persecution that was going on. They have endured things that I can never imagine enduring in my lifetime, and I think I've seen a lot from hearing stories and so forth. And that's not even enough to put me in their place or in their position to know what they've endured. Coming to America, it's a completely different world to them. The refugee settlement agencies, what they do give them is very minimal if you really consider what it costs to live in America, especially if a lot of them are professionals that are coming here that now are, doing, finding odd ends of types of jobs just to keep it going, if they can even find those jobs. Those are not even very readily available.
Right.
They've got a hard time with transportation. They don't own cars. Our public transport system here is horrible for them.
Depending on what they're used to back home.
Exactly, depending, exactly. There's sometimes a language barrier. Not all of them speak English. Some of the younger ones do, but still, it's very, and a lot of the employers do want a solid English-based speaking person. The refugees have endured a lot, and the only thing I can say is that we need to educate and teach them the American way, how to find jobs, give them the tools, maybe help them with resumes, help them how to do job searches, and so forth. We need to give them the tools to help them and enable them to help themselves.
Right. Now, aside of all the programs and the assistance that you offer, CALC has a warehouse, and not many organizations have a warehouse where people can come and take clothing or whatever they may need. Elaborate a little bit on that.
CALC has always had some form of warehouse, whether it was in somebody's garage, somebody's basement.
So it's grown.
We've always would collect furniture, clothing, whatever, for the last 50 years and store it, like I said, either in basements, in garages, in people's homes. That way, when somebody needed it, we had it and we were able to give it. We were very fortunate about 7 years ago, Mr. Boji offered us a place in Southfield, and we housed the warehouse there for nearly 3 years, rent-free. He donated the space to us, and that was actually our first real warehouse. It was about almost 3,500 square feet, and we housed furniture, clothing, some food there, and people, that's where they would come and pick what they would need. And then we eventually moved it to the east side over on 13 and Stevenson, between Stevenson and John R. We are nearly now in almost occupying 8,000 square feet. It literally has everything from your bedding, your mattresses, furniture, clothing,
so household items to
household
personal
items,
everything.
Everything. And recently we opened up our food pantry through the with the help of Associated Food and Petroleum Dealers that actually helped start a naming fund. and they will contribute X amount of dollars every year to help keep this pantry going. Beyond that, we've had area churches. Mother of God just recently collected canned goods for the pantry, and we do get a lot of support from the churches and area businesses and so forth. Many grocery stores and wholesalers have donated food to support this pantry, and even in the past. So it is important, and we carry, and what we have there is the essentials what a Chaldean family would use.
Okay.
We also work with gleaners, and we use with Forgotten Harvest and so forth, and if people do need, and we'll set them up with programs through them and so forth.
So it's not just products that they may need, but also the necessities that they're used to culturally.
Exactly.
So that's really interesting. You touched up on base with Mr. Boji, who is a community father, and that assists with the warehouse, and a lot of organizations are helping the CALC organization.
Yes.
Has the CALC assisted past events with other community events?
Yes, we try to support as many events as we can throughout the community. We try to, even our sponsors, we try to patronize their businesses and so forth, because it's giving back. We are all very supportive. The organizations are very supportive of one another. I think we all work fairly well together, and we try not to cross each other and duplication and so forth.
Now, being involved with the upcoming Seeds of Hope telethon, what is CALC's expectations for the outcome?
To raise awareness. You know, obviously it's always good to raise money, but to raise awareness about all our very valuable organizations that are in our community and how each organization helps the community. Everybody has a little bit of a different niche to what they do and how they assist the community. It's just raising awareness. Many people, believe it or not, even now, well, what does CALC do? Or, you know, well, how do you guys do this? Or well, how, really? You know, they just don't, people just are not aware. So I'm really grateful for MEA TV for doing this. I mean, because if anything, it's going to get these organizations out there. And more importantly, I think it's maybe helping individuals who don't know where to go say, oh yeah, that organization might be able to help me. A lot of people don't even realize we all exist.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't know where to call, or the Red Cross, and the Red Cross may not have the right
and unfortunately, outside of our organization, people don't know how to assist these individuals. And we do get a lot of calls from area non-Chaldean churches, outside non-Chaldean organizations, and looking for our assistance to help them assist who's there with them.
Do you guys work with the Red Cross? If the Red Cross knows of a family, would they call CALC?
Not specifically just Red Cross, but any, even St. Vincent de Paul. We've had the Salvation Army. I mean, so it's various organizations that would call us, that they have found us and call us. Area schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you encourage the viewers?
How would I encourage them?
Yeah, if the viewers watching, how would you encourage them?
I would encourage people to tune into the telethon. Just listen. Listen to what people have to say that will be interviewed. It's going to be for 2 days. It's going to be almost 4 or 5 hours each day. It's in the evening. Honestly, just sit and listen. Make it a family thing. Make it a family thing. My nieces and nephews all know about Ladies of Charity and what we do. And they're young. Get them involved. Let your kids understand what's out there.
What's going on.
What's going on.
What people need.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, being the president of an organization,